And it just records me, so you don't have to worry about yourself. So this having the band and the bench. We need to do just one more thing. And also welcome everybody for our first class of this session. I'm hoping after this that we'll do some outdoor classes during the summer, but we'll be inside for the next 7 weeks. So let's go ahead. Let's take a breath in. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, adding your core on the exhale. So that's your seat, your belly. Another breath in. Think of the air going to the lungs and then out. Seat, belly, urinary muscles contracting. Then what we'd like to do is we're going to do like 3 steps and then a leg movement. So you're right next to your chair in case you need it. And we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, and then a knee lift and touch your knee. 1, 2, 3, touch. Now I have to remember here to keep my belly and urinary muscles engaged. Touch. Seat muscles if I can. With the knee lift, it's a little harder to keep the seat muscles engaged. I'm keeping this open heart. And now I'm going to change it to a little grab. So a grab. 1, 2, 3. Now the grab on this side, you could use same hand if you need the reassurance of your chair. 1, 2, 3. A little grab. 1, 2, 3. Grab. So this, keep your heart open, your chest forward, and be patient. Practice until you feel a little more steady with that. And a grab. Okay, let's do a breath in, a breath out. Squeeze those core muscles. Fingertip on the chair, and if you might need it with the toe raise. So now we're doing our toe raise, working on control, firm ankle, weight toward the first and second toe. So weight for the inside of your foot, the ball of your foot as you come up. That straight ankle, firm. Okay, and you'll feel it. Your seat really tightens with those. Keep that seat tightening, pull in the belly and the urinary muscles. We're going to go back to 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to be a kick back with the heel. 1, 2, 3, a kick. So it's keep your knees close together, and it's a knee bend. Now we're going to work on a touch of your heel as it kicks back. So 1, 2, 3, touch. 1, 2, 3, touch. 1, 2, 3, touch. 1, 2, 3, touch. Let's try. If you're doing okay with that, it's pretty vigorous on the knees. If it works for you to do a double touch, just remember, if anything hurts, doesn't feel right for you, you could just do it less strongly. Don't kick quite as hard. Or you could just kind of pedal in place or march in place if this doesn't work. So to alter, nothing should be painful or feel like it's just not right. 1, 2, 3, touch, touch. 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 Okay, let's pedal that out for a minute with a breath in and a breath out. Okay, and then let's go behind the chair. So where you can move back and forth behind your chair. And we're gonna do some side lunges with a knee touch. So your chair is there in case you need it with the side lunge. I'm gonna move my chair so you can see me better. But we'll do a step, 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 step. I guess one more step. Side lunge. And the side lunge is flat, we get a flat back, seat back, chest forward. Got our side lunge. We're going to try a knee touch. Step, 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 side lunge. So you got to have your body over that hip, make that tip touch your knee. Step, 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 lunge, touch, step, 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 lunge, touch, step, 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 lunge. So in this position, that lift, that touch really kind of uses the core. Step, 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 last one, a lunge, a touch. We'll come back to the center, let's pedal. Take a breath in, really stretch it up, and a breath out. And then we're going to come to the side of the chair and we're going to step a little back from the chair. So I'm reaching forward, I'm touching, I'm on the side of the chair, but I want to do a forward lunge. So I've got myself some space so I can come forward to a flat foot. I'm on the ball of my back foot. I'm going to bend both knees. Only use the chair as needed, and just think as needed, could need one finger or two fingers. And then we're going to nudge, 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 and step back. A forward lunge, flat foot in front, ball of the foot in back, a nudge, nudge, nudge. And now let's check in. Look at your front knee and make sure you see your toes past your knee down there. If not, you might need to push a little to shift your weight back. Okay, we'll come back. Let's step forward, a nudge, nudge, nudge. Step back. I'm alternating legs. Step forward, ball of the back foot. Shoulders aligned over the hips, so no lean with this one. Seat firm, urinary muscles firm, belly firm. Now I'm going to put one hand on the chair. I have this leg back. Now I'm going to try to tap that knee. Tap and back, and then I'm going to stand. I'm going to go to the other side, step forward, follow the back foot, a nudge, nudge, nudge. Now I want to bring that knee forward so I can hang on to the chair if I need to, and tap. Or I can let go of the chair if I'm a real lunger, been lunging a long time. Tap. And then feet back together. We'll try that again on each side because the body really needs a few times to practice, find the coordination and balance. So first, breath in, a breath out. Position yourself where you can touch your chair. We'll start with the leg closest to the chair. Lunge forward, align that lunge, contract that seat. We'll do a nudge, 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 and we're going to try to tap that knee, take it back, and then step back together. A lunge forward, alignment, seat contracting, and try to bring that back leg forward for a tap, and then back, and then Step back together. Okay, getting very aerobic with that and working toward our 15 lunges for the day. Let's go to the toes with the breath in. So feet hip width apart. Be thinking of your firm ankle and weight over toward the middle of the ball of your foot. So up to the toes and out. Try again, up to the toes and out. Getting those core muscles working. Let's see if we could just bring a knee to the floor. So we're going back to our front lunge, step forward, and use the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, ball of the back foot. We're going to see if we can slowly lower to the floor gently or come close. And then we'll just come up and step back. Let's try the other leg, that step forward, gently lowering the back knee to the floor or toward the floor and back up for that major strengthening of the leg muscles there. Nicely done. A little stretch. And then we're gonna move on to the bench and then our impacts. So let's go ahead, take a breath in. As you breathe out, feet hip width apart, bend the knees, hands to the knees. Straight elbows. We're trying for a straight back, seat sticking out. You still have some arch in your back. Try to keep the shoulders wide. Looking forward, and then we're gonna curl up by pulling in the belly, tuck your chin, look towards your lap. Look forward, straighten the back, and even arch the low back. Contract and curl. Look forward, some arch. And then we just pull the belly in, go to neutral, and then see if you can drop your hands down to the floor. So the knees are bent. Your fingertips could be on your toes, they could be on the floor, they could be actually on your shins, even on your knees if your back needs more support. And what we'd like to do is try to straighten one knee at a time for that stretch of the back of the thigh. So straighten and bend, other side, straighten and bend. So slowly, at your own pace, finding, how far can you hinge and still be comfortable with straightening one knee and then the other. Getting the thighs, back of the thigh to stretch out. Head can dangle. And a back and forth movement. Okay. Then we'll bend the knees, we'll bring the hands back up to the knees. That took some back strength. We're going to reach out and lift up. Let's go to the toes and down. We'll bring the hands down. Okay. And then if you have a bench, I gotta put it in front of you, and we want to start with the chair. If you're standing or you're using a bench, you want your chair to the side so you have a place to put your hands. And we're going to start with some ankle work along with our balance. Okay, so if we have a bench, we're going to just bring the heel forward to the bench. You can reach your chair if you need, but this could also be on the floor. We're going to do a heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and then bring it back. A heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and bring it back. Okay. Well, now we're going to do it kind of in a line across the front edge of the bench or the floor in front of you. Heel, toe, toe, heel, toe, and back together. And then heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and back down. A little bit different movement. That was focused really on the ankle. This is focused more on the hip. We're going to bring the heel up there, tap the toe center, tap the toe out and in with the toe tap. And then we'll bring that down. And that's to rotate right deep in the hip. If you're using a bench, I'm at least 12 inches behind the bench. So when I stick my heel out, it's on the bench. Tap in, tap out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and down. So getting that deep rotation in the hip, that is really good for hip mobility and stability. Let's take a breath into the toes and a breath out. Okay, let's go to some knee lifts now with arm movement. So to step forward, chairs there, or reaching up with the knee lift, back down together. Step forward, or reaching up, back together. A step forward, or reach up, together. A step forward, or reach up, back together. Okay, now with a kick. So let's just start a step, a kick, back together, a step, a kick, back together. Let's try the kick with a reach. Kick, step, reach, back together, step, reach, back together. How about a step with a back leg lift, back, down, together, step, backward, down, together. Let's try with a reach, back, down, together, a step, a reach with that kick, down, together, step, reach, down, together, step, reach, and down, together. And then a breath in, and a breath out. And let's try with a punch. And this is with the back kick. So it'd be a step. As we kick back, we punch away from the kick. Punch, down, together. A step, punch. And you can feel these core muscles in your trunk working pretty hard with that rotation, with the back kick, really engages these core muscles. One more, step, kick, back, together. Okay, a breath in. So let's try this time with the side leg lift. So like a breath in and out. A breath in and out. Circle the shoulders back. And then we want to turn the bench sideways. And we're going to do some side movements over the bench. For this, the chair would be right in front of you. So if you're on the floor, the chair is just in front of you facing the screen. If you're on the bench, it's in front of you. So you have a place for your hands if you want it. I move my chair so you can see better. Okay, so we're gonna practice this. Our side lunge going over the bench, add some challenge. So I'm standing right next to the bench. I'm just gonna lift right up and over it. And if you're on the floor, you kind of imagine you've got an object there that you have to step over. And then I do my tip, which is my side lunge. I'm going to bring this foot up and tap the bench and take it back. Tap, back, Now I'm gonna lunge back over. There are ways of working on balance and coordination, trying to find things that are new and challenging. Up and over, tip into our side lunge, very good for bone density of the hip. We're gonna do a tap, back out, and back over. And if this is, again, if anything hurts, we've done 2, those are pretty strenuous. You can take a break. If you're okay with it, we'll do another one. It's the tap, so we're really putting the force into that hip and back. And then let's carefully step over. And we'll do that on the other side. So the side lunge, the tip, belly in, urinary muscles contracting, lift and tap, put it back out, and we'll come back over the bench. We've got practice stepping over something, holding all your weight on one leg, and back over. Step, tap, down, step, tip, touch, down, and back over. Okay, that looked good. That looked good. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. We'll set the benches aside. And you want to find a good place for your impacts. So the other important part of bone density is the 100 to 150 impacts 5 days a week. And that takes about 3 minutes of music, of a song. If you follow the beat, you'll get in that many impacts in each leg, which is our goal. So let's go ahead. We're gonna use a song that has a nice introduction where we can do a little stretch and catch our breath, and we'll go to impacts. And for impacts, I'm gonna do mine with shoes off because my floor is kind of overly cushioned. You want to get where you have as little cushioning as possible. If you're on a wood floor or a cement floor, please wear your shoes because you can't injure your feet. And the force with this is into the heel to transmit it right up the leg to your hip, and also to prevent foot injury. So although my foot is flat, I feel very light force in the front of my foot and very heavy force in my heel. If we do some jumps, sometimes we do a thump, which is a toe raise and coming down on your heel. We do a jump. Also think of landing into the heel like you see a gymnast. I'm going to add some music. We'll stretch first and then get to our impacts.
Una notte a Napoli, con la luna in mare, ho incontrato un angelo che non poteva più volare.
Reach.
Una notte a Napoli,
Reach.
delle stelle si scordò, e anche senza ali, il cielo mi portò. Con lui volando lontano dalla terra, dimenticando le tristezze della sera, in paradiso oltre le nuvole, pazza d'amore con delle lucciole. Tristemente tutto deve finire.
Quando il cuore mi ha spezzato ed in cielo mi ha abbandonato, adesso sulla terra son tornata, mai più riamare mi sono rassegnata.
Guardo su,
Quanto tempo può durare, quante notti da sognare, quante ore, quanti giorni e carezze infinite. Quando ami da morire, chiudi gli occhi e non pensare, il tempo passa, l'amore scompare, la danza finirà. Una notte a Napoli, con la luna e il mare, ho incontrato un angelo che non poteva più volare. Una notte a Napoli, che le stelle si sguardò, e anche senza ali, in cielo mi portò, 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 in cielo mi portò.
Okay. For me, now I have to open a window because it gets warm with all that stomping and exertion. So now, we're gonna get our chairs ready. We're gonna, have the bands nearby. And come to the front edge of your chair. Okay, okay, you all look ready. Good, so you want to be centered in front of your chair. You want to feel your legs touching the chair. And then we'll just come down and check by tapping the front edges of your chair that you're centered, you're close, you're safe. We're gonna bring, I'm gonna hold the band. I'm gonna bring my hands to the sides of my waist and press my elbows back. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze all my core muscles to start with. Belly, seat, and urinary muscles. Now hold that. Belly especially and urinary muscles as I go partway down to the chair. If I need to touch and check, I can do that. And then I'm gonna slowly land on the chair. I'm gonna bring the bands here. I'm gonna take a breath in, a breath out, a breath in, a breath out. And then I'm gonna create a little loop and bring both hands right to the center of my upper chest. Feet flat. I'm gonna lean forward now and lift and come up. And I'm gonna do 2 pushes to a straight elbow, one arm, one hand staying right at the chest as I straighten the other arm. And then 2 on the other side. Going to a fully straight elbow, a slow push out, a slow coming back. Then I check in. Am I centered? Am I close to my chair? And touching the chair, seat comes back. I'm just hinging at the hips chest forward, knees bend, hips hinge. I'm gonna do another push, 2. One arm hand, the chest, pull in your belly. It's really using the back muscles to hold you stable here. And then we'll slowly go down to the chair, land real softly. And we'll do the double push, 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 push. Let's come up. Let's take a breath in with that jump out. Another breath. Okay, so we're aligned in the chair, feet are flat. With this, we're going to push straight out to the side, a double push to a straight elbow, changing the muscles a little. Push and push. So working on grip strength, working on bone density of the wrist and fingers with this, and overall arm strength. Okay, now I'm going to tip forward. So to lift off the chair, your heart needs to come forward over your knees. Knees stay separated. I'm going to come up a little bit, pull in my belly, pull in my urinary muscles, even squeeze the seat and a push, push, and a push to a straight elbow. I'm just taking my time. And then push your hips forward, stand, add all the core, and we'll do a push, push, and a push, push. Those are such good muscles to have working. Let's come down with a push, straight arm, and it kind of swings a little behind you. We get some more of the upper back there. Add your core. Push. Good. Good. Going to a completely straight elbow. Okay. Centered in front of your chair, checking in that you're going to land on your chair because we're going to go down slow. Hinge at your hips, tip forward, belly in, urinary muscles in. Push twice with each arm. Let's go halfway to the chair and to push and feel how your core is working harder here. Everything works harder. And to push, push. Okay, and then slowly to the chair. You might touch, check. Your chair is right where you want it. So you land softly on your chair. Nice work. We're going to set the bands aside and we'll stand toward the end of class to finish with the bands there. Now we want to come halfway forward in the chair. And we're going to release the hands. So that's an open and close and the hands. Open and close. Really spreading the fingers as you open. And we'll go to big backward arm circle. Reaching up as you open and close, open, close. So you got to do it slow with the hands in order to get the stretch. And when we do it combined with the backward arm circle, also getting the shoulders that reach up, stretches your trunk. It's a nice way to stretch between exercises. Okay, arms out, pulling the belly, contract the urinary muscles, add your seat. We'll do a side bend with a reach and a side bend with a reach. All the core very involved. The rib cage is just stretching. The spine is flexing to the sides, keeping the spine flexible. We'll come down, we're going to separate. And we'll lean forward, flat back, feeling that stretch in the hips and the lower back as you slowly hinge forward a little more at the hips. And then curl, look towards your lap, pull in your belly, tuck your chin, and unroll. And again, that hinging forward to supposed to make your back feel good. Curl up. and unroll. Shoulder circle back. Other shoulder circle back. We're going to enter into a sequence of stretching and strengthening where we kind of just run through different areas of the body before we move on. So let's take a breath in. As you breathe out, tighten your core. Breath in. A breath out and tighten the core. Bring the knees in a little. You want the knees and feet about hip width apart and keep this alignment with your knees at least 6 inches apart, probably 10 inches. Feet the same, about hip width apart. You want your knees really over your heels. And that gives you, you can push with your feet and that'll give you the support to straighten your back and contract your belly, your urinary muscles, and your seat. We're going to bring our hands, just going to cross your wrists to your upper chest, and we're going to twist and work on endurance. So we're going to go slowly, deliberately back and forth, and at that end, a little extra contraction. So I'll get over there, a little extra. To the side, a little extra. Working on endurance of the muscles of your trunk, both in the stomach, the sides of the trunk, and your back. You'll feel them start to get tired. These are endurance muscles. So we're gonna keep going just a little bit longer. Want your muscles strong enough to hold you up for a long walk. It's working on some endurance there. Then let's stretch those muscles. We'll do an arm fling. Watch your hand as it goes back. And then to the front, other arm. Back, and forward, and back, and forward. And we'll just bring the hands down. So I'm halfway forward in my chair. My back is straight. If my back hurts, I would scoot back a little and lean back. If my strength is okay in my trunk, I'm going to stay halfway forward. I'm going to hold on to the chair for a little extra support. Then I'm going to straighten one knee fully and point the toe. And I'm going to work on my hip stability. I'm going to slowly slide that out and in. I'm going to squeeze my knees when I come to the center. Going out, you tell that squeeze. It's a totally different set of muscles. Lift my heart, really using my back muscles, and a squeeze. I'll bring that down. Go to the other side. Squeeze, swivel out. Strong, straight legs, strong, straight back. Out, squeeze, and out, and squeeze. Great for fine-tuning the hip. Now, I'm going to come on the ball of the foot. I'm going to stretch the hip with that knee out, knee in, another squeeze. Squeeze enough, you feel your belly contract. Try to hold the belly contraction as you come out, in, pressure, out, relax. You can use a hand if your muscles are not touchy. Get good motion in the hip, and then a squeeze, and we'll go to the other side. So just swiveling on the ball of my foot, coming out, and that knee squeeze, out, let it stretch, and knee squeeze, trying to get loose in the hip joint. Okay, and then for some foot coordination, now I'm going to get my feet positioned. I'm going to bring my hands to my thighs, elbows are bent. I'm just going to give a push to straighten my back. Shoulders are set back and down. Now I feel really long in my trunk, both the front and the back of my trunk. I'm going to hold this length as I drop my hands. And then with the feet, I'm gonna do this outward motion, toes, heels, toes, heels, and then heels, toes, heels. And now I'm again, touch and squeeze the knees. Touch your toes, squeeze your knees. Get that length in your trunk. Let's see if we can go a little faster. Toes, heels, toes, heels, heels, toes, heels, squeeze. Lengthen, track the belly and the urinary muscles. Toes, heels, toes, heels, heels, toes, heels, squeeze. Good. And then just bring your toes forward. And we're gonna scoot back in the chair, pedal your wrists. As you scoot back, you go ahead and lean back in your chair. So the little break for your trunk. So I'm flexing and extending my wrists. Still thinking back to when I was using that band. Now needing to loosen the wrists. I'm going to bring my arms down, and then I'm going to bring that loosening to my knees. I'm going to swing. So if you have your shoes on, I forgot to mention to go ahead and take your shoes off. So this would be a good time because we're going to be doing some things with the lower leg, but if you have on shoes, you can't really do it in the same way. I'm contracting my belly, contracting my seat and urinary muscles, and then I'm swinging and giving that kick to a straight knee. For me, I reach back. I just like to open up in my upper chest so I can really breathe. Fully straighten your knees, a little extra oomph. It's just very good for knee health to do that. And we'll leave it out. And here you really have to contract your belly, urinary muscles, and seat. You can hold these legs out for a while, and we'll pedal the ankles. Flexing and extending slowly, trying to get our full motion there. Thinking of keeping the ankles flexible. We've worked on the hips and the knees, the wrists, fingers. Now we're working on the ankles. And then we're going to touch the toes together, touch the heels. Now think of swiveling in the hips. It's like when we were standing up, tapping in and out. What really that rotation happening in the hips as we tap the heels and the toes, heels and toes. Okay, we'll come down. Okay, now from here, we're going to sit up in the chair and do a hip walk to come halfway forward in the chair. Okay, and then we'll do that light pressure again, checking in. Feet about hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Hands here, I'm going to give a push. Good way to really fully straighten the back. I'm going to settle my shoulders back and down, very open heart, very lifted heart. Now I contract my seat, urinary muscles, and belly. This is to hold me here, even when I drop my hands. I'm going to try some knee lifts. As I do it, I'm pointing my toe, slow control, feel these muscles in the front of my body really working. I'm going to hold the knee up, and now I'm going to circle the ankle. This is our last ankle range of motion exercise, and then circle the other way and go my speed. When I went for training, I was told that I'm going too fast. So slow down, and then let's grab and pull. And then belly in, and as you let go, we'll float that down. And then let's get straight again, that little push. Find all those core muscles. Keep that length and a lift. And we do that really full motion of the ankle, slow and complete. Trying to keep range of motion, and then we'll go the other way. Long, strong trunk, belly strongly contracted. And then let's grab and pull. Keep the back straight. We'll let go and bring it back down. Then we're gonna Do a breaststroke. Stretch the back and the hips. Keep the knees separated. Keep the feet planted so that lower body is aligned. You get this nice stretch. Okay. And we'll just come out to the sides and let's take a breath in and a breath out. Another breath in and a breath out. And then we want to get seated in the chair. So maybe, tip a little forward, tip a little back. Come to that point where you feel like you're seated, you're not tipping forward or back or side to side, but you're kind of perfectly balanced in your chair. This is the point where it's a little easier to keep your back straight. And then from here, we're just going to drop the hands. We'll do a side bend to one side. In the center, side bend to the other side. As we're doing these side bends, think of relaxing your neck also. Side, and center, inside, center. Get balanced again, where you feel like you're truly not having to force yourself to lean forward or back. And then we're going to circle the face, relaxing your neck. And circle the other way. With the face forward, there's no looking up, it's only looking forward with this. It's very safe for the neck. Okay, then looking down, we can shake. Think of the neck relaxing. Okay, and then we're going to do some lunging with the bands. So here, you put your shoes back on if your floor is slippery at all. So shoes optional, but you must have them if you're on a wood or a cement or all of these hard flooring. You'd probably want your shoes. But if you're on a rug, that doesn't slip. Be okay. So we're gonna get our band. So all of these exercises with the band. So if you're not lunging, you don't even want to stand, you can do these in the chair. You don't have to stand for these. They can be easily adapted to the chair. If you want to stand, but you don't want to lunge, you can do them standing. Some of them can be done with a little squat, a little seat back, chest forward. Some of them can be done with just a stand. So you use the bands. Part of general recommendations these days is to do resistance training twice a week. That it helps with brain, with muscle, with heart health, with everything. So, it's a good thing to do. Also, it turns out stretching is not a waste of time at all. You get all those hormones produced that result in muscle strengthening. Stretching is a great thing to do. So we want to start with a back lunge if you're up to it, or you could be standing with a little squat or seated. But if you're going to do a back lunge, we stand toward the front leg of the chair so that when we step back, you're right alongside the chair. We haven't done any of these today. I'm just holding the band. I'm going to step back and it's to the ball of the foot. And the chair is right there then if I need it. And then I bend both knees. I make sure I see my front toes there. And I'll do a few nudges. I'm going to bring my elbows out, my hands forward. My hands are a little closer together than my elbows, a little bit. That's kind of there, a little closer there. Okay, squeeze my seat, add my urinary and belly muscles. Then I'm going to just pull my hands out. So they're as wide as my elbows now. I'm going to rotate overhead. Now I'm going to straighten my elbows and push out. Bend the elbows and come forward. And then let's go ahead and step forward. And I'm going to step back with the other foot. So you can feel this. This is a great overall back strengthener. It starts with the rotator cuff. It goes to the shoulders and the upper back, even the middle back. So I'm in my back lunge. I see my toes there. Ball of the back foot. Hands a little closer than my elbows. Spread my hands a little. I come up. Straighten my elbows. Come back. And then down. And then step forward. Do a couple more of those. Back. As you can see, you could do these in other positions in the lunge. Nudge, nudge, get settled, add my core. Up, separate my hands. Push. Down. Forward. Step forward. Step back. Nudge, nudge, add core. Lift your elbows, pull out. Up, out, bend, forward, and step forward. Good work. That was not easy. Let's hang on to the band. Let's stand kind of near the front of the chair so we can do this big arm circle. And then we'll go the other way. The breath in, the breath out. Kind of loosening our shoulders after all that. But that's a strenuous exercise with so many good muscles involved for your shoulders and your upper back. Okay, let's go ahead now. We'll step forward a bit. I'm stepping near the front corner of my chair. Do more back lunges. Under the foot. Holding on. So we're going to then go to the ball of the back foot, and you can still reach your chair, even holding on to your band. Okay, we'll do a nudge, nudge. Check for your toe, front of your knee. Elbows stay right at the sides. Let's get that shoulders back and down. Squeeze your elbows in, and we'll do biceps, biceps. And then we're going to do a punch, punch. Step forward, and let's do that again. Back, nudge, nudge, add your core. Especially find your seat, which is doesn't feel so natural in this position. Elbows in, shoulders settled back and down. Biceps nice and slow. Fully straighten, fully bend, fully straighten. And 90 degrees, punch, 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 punch. Another way to work on that core. Okay, let's go to the other side. So other foot. So here you could think, oh, this is bothering my shoulders a little. This is bothering my wrist a little. If so, just loosen up. You don't have to have as much tension in your band. Is one way to adapt, or you can do these without the band. You can just drop the band and do the lunge with the movement. Okay, shoulders up, back and down. And then I'm going to step back. I'm going to nudge, I check for my toe, add my seat, belly, urinary muscles, elbows squeeze in, slowly bend and straighten, going for a complete elbow movement with that. And straighten, Then I'm gonna bend, you do a punch, punch, a punch, punch. And step forward. I'm gonna do a backward shoulder circle. And another one. Keeping my shoulders back and down now. I'm gonna step back one more time. Nudge, add my core, elbows in. One, biceps, second biceps. Fully straighten, then I'm gonna bend. Punch, punch, double punch. Punch, 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 punch. And I'm ready to step forward. And unhook there. Okay, let's go ahead. We're gonna double the band and stretch before we do our final deep breaths. When you get the feet about hip width apart, we'll start with some rotation. So I've just doubled the band. I'm gonna come forward, and as I do that, I'm trying to keep my back flat. I don't wanna push forward. I want to keep my heart lifted. And I'm gonna twist, pull back. I'm letting my whole body twist. My hips can turn. With this, twist, twist. And then if your shoulders can do it, we're gonna go overhead. So you could do it like this. If you can't really raise your arms fully, you could have it here. If you're able to go overhead, you could do that. And we're gonna do the side bend, really squeeze the seat and let the ribs stretch. So it's your belly, your seat, your urinary muscles are very active. And the rib cage is just stretching. So good for breathing. Okay, we're gonna bring the bands down. Up in the side. Hands a little tense. Let's get planted. Get the shoulders back and down. Add your core. Let's open and close. Fully spread the fingers, bringing the hands forward. Open and close out to the sides. And then relax your fingers and let's circle in the wrist. Go back to your seat, belly and urinary muscles, make sure they're working, and then let's circle the other way. We'll bring those arms down, circle the shoulders back. Let's open and close with a full back arm circle. And then we'll get ready for our 5 deep, vigorous breaths to finish class. So feet a little wider, palms forward and pulling back. And think of opening the front of your rib cage. And as we breathe in through the nose, think of your rib cage expanding out to the sides. So this isn't a belly breath. This is a rib cage breath that we try to do in our 5 deep, vigorous breaths. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Circle back, maybe circle the head facing forward. Relax the neck. Stretch whatever you need to stretch.